want to thank you, Mother and Father, for blessing me with life. I'll honor you in all of my days, giving me so much light. In darkness I can see without you, without you. Because it was already written in the beginning. The conception was an order, and I am only because this is meant to be. Two groomed individuals, father, mother, chosen deliberately to produce me. And just as we are an extension, I am your descendant, your reflection, your progeny, your divine earthly responsibility. Now here I stand with needs and senses, emotions and visions, talents and opportunities. You, young, once inexperienced, unsure, and often frustrated, still you follow the calling to bear fruit of breath. Mistakes were made as you were young and afraid. But for my life, I will honor you beyond my death. And I, ordered by the omnipotent to follow your rules, which I have reverently stored within my heart, relying on you for guidance, sustenance, understanding, and wisdom, I pray may your teachings and I never part, knowing that nothing is perfect except for the lessons. But dishonoring you forfeits my blessings. See, the torch which you pass comes from experience, efforts, errors, coincidence, and risk, confidence, sacrifices, challenges, and differences. But you stood on faith, and you did it. Parental skills enhanced with great determination to instill strength within me and secure my foundation. You've equipped me for life's various situations. Without your wisdom, I am that voiceless conversation. But through you I grow, seed into tree. Your roots I exalt. You fortify me. So by will and compliance, I cherish your demonstrations. Influenced by your deeds, you are my greatest education. No, we are not perfect. Yes, we will all fall. But a present parent's love is the strongest crutch of them all. Lost as a sheep am I, when rebellious and snide, devoured by wolves, all due to foolish pride, lured into a world of seduction and lies, as a mite within an apple rotten with flies. But your knowledge provides light. You give me sight and direction to thrive. You are my compass. You keep me alive, my recharge, my guide, the ground on which I stand. And yes, God, I'll forever uphold my parents' commands. For a child that strays from their guardian is a child that stands alone. And although I am an adult, I will never be that grown. I won't hold your flaws against you, for you are human too. Besides, I learn from every single thing that you've gone through. I'm just grateful for your guardianship, and I truly do love you.
You can tell by my tires that not everybody who's driven with me is still alive. Also that I like my drinks neat bottled and in a bus stop. Also that we're drowning in precinct paper, department store floor plans and applications to the moon. We can tell you about ashes, but where are these angels coming from, smelling like the cigarette that fails? And why is the man on the safe side, these headlights freezing up? You have nothing to say at my funeral, I'll speak on your behalf. Mountain made a flatland robbery among some things on my mind. The last storm run in the name of shared afterlife, Friday to the filter, I'm a tall tale on earth. But here's to that angel that never appeared to America in a night of dog paddle. A liar wouldn't have lived this long. That's my humor when fences speak. On a pair of rambling dice that have unique tempers and young souls that say, be quiet about our city. The tree's teeth are in pieces. There's reservoir art on the faces of stragglers. There's sad news from back home that mean we have to grow up on his behalf. Stumble back to a car full of last stand. The truth is stale, but still liquor. Mission Street will be proud of me. I'm a mural man, almost organized. Remember when my lungs would wake up last, walking all morning if it was worth it. I am 3 decades homeless, and reservoir art is all I ever see. And I'm 2,000 miles from my first fight. Maybe no one really survived. Maybe I wrote my first poem for no reason. I talk facing away from the dead. They replace me with the change in my pocket. A penny that's yet to be invented. They say you have to know how to cut a throat on the way to cutting a throat. After sleeping on a mattress made from 2 garbage bags of clothes, I became content with the small gestures of plantation fires. Playing with couch ashes, I realized how weird the universe was. It exists in so many places, so many random things. It interrupts me while I'm trying to dream. Like your clay correspondence, Lord. To be transparent, I have 20 books next to a bullet like an old man giving advice at the beginning of a revolution. I've really done it, Lord. Explored the mumbles of my mind, explored what's naturally there, and I found no brainwashing. I found Africa, Lord. I have a future. It takes place in the diasporic South. I have morning possessions, modern militancy. Windows to the South. I'll walk on a missile for food. I guess you will not want flowers for a few years, Lord. Will I be tied face to face with the country I murder merged with us, Lord? Our old metal versus new metal. Our old metal versus a pool of meandering imperialist faces of multiculturalism of sorts. The dead replaced me with a comedian's chest cavity. Instead of a chest cavity held tight, it takes a violent middleman for me to talk to myself. Stories that travel through other people's stories. A song about a song, a hemisphere about a hemisphere. Stories that travel through a conquered poet. My mother remembers Africa, Lord. She killed on behalf of you, Lord. I wore a machete all winter and no one asked me what it meant. I read 1,000 books in front of the world. What I do is fight poems and sleep through decadent San Francisco prayer circles. Watch people play for post-working class associative surfaces or recreations of a governor's desk. Ruling class art of utility. Plan to find a sociopathic bureaucrat. A day some white people scared even easier. TV in the basket next to a ceramic baby wearing ceramic armor. Musket progeny fantasizing through the art of the poor. Their trendy latches locked before God. Black art hunted down like a dog. Hand over my friends, Lord. Lord, I think I'm going to die in the war. Unelected white people in my small house like a blues song with no spiritual effect, a dollhouse, H-bomb, a pony show near dead bodies, apartheid weddings that go right, apartheid white people who give birth to mathematicians, the spiritual continuity of barracks and police stations, the chemical interpretation of a Sunday trip to church, church smells in their pockets, a river mistaken for a talking river, no autobiography outside of small personal victories of violence and drug use made in the image of God's trinkets of white abolitionists confided in their children about, chemical assurances that they will switch from black artists to white artists, from black God to white God, from black worker to white worker. I think about you cautiously, Lord. In the same way I think about my childhood, Lord. Foxhole Friday nights, most of life is mute. Comedian points out a planet's field to a priest, king, sugar cane, king, cotton king, revolutionary, the Bible essential, containing all modes of shallow introduction, introducing an unlisted planet class, speaking about fevers and balance sheets and reassuring the masses that we could figure out our fathers later. A priest took my mother lightly, Lord. Stood in front of parishioners, re-rapping fantasies about black art. Priest reading confidently before I broke him and broke his parallel. After the day, I've never been a poet before. A little brother watches his big brother's friends. They lean rifles on shelter walls. They agree with me and call it literature. It's a simple matter, this revolution thing. To really lie to no one, to keep nothing godlike, to write a poem for God. Thank you all.